Pokemon is a game of skill. Or so they say. You catch the best Pokemon, level them up, and give them moves to exploit your opponent's weaknesses. But what if I just threw that all out the window? What if every attack, every single move was left to the hands of fate? Or this single coin? Today, I have modded Pokemon FireRed so that every single move that has accuracy now has 50% accuracy. And to make it worse, if I lose 10 times, I'll be forced to live stream a Hot Ones challenge while playing Get to Work. And I'm horrible at spice. So will luck be on my side, or will I lose it all, leaving with nothing but regret and a bottle of hot sauce? There are a few more rules, but we'll explain those as they come up. After naming ourselves appropriately, I gave my rival the only name he deserves. Gary. You know, cause screw Gary. For my starter, I decided to go with Bulbasaur. This little green guy has access to moves that the other starters just don't get. Status inflicting moves. Ironically, anything below average accuracy felt normal in this run. Between Sleep Powder and Stun Spore, we can kind of just pray and stall long enough for our attacks to hit. Throw in Poison Powder and you got yourself a tanky quadrupedal who can whittle any Pokemon down, assuming any of these attacks even land. And then I fought Gary and lost. Gary got to go first, a speed tie. It's whatever. But trust me, our Headgear will not forget this. Venturing through the early routes, catching any Pokemon that might help me was fairly easy until we encountered our first real issue. Poison. We actually get poisoned. Oh no, wait, this is not good. Yeah, I know I was just hyping up Poison Powder, but for some reason I didn't think that I could get poisoned, and this was only the beginning of my suffering. Now would be a good time to explain rule number 1. I am only allowing myself up to about 5 levels over the gym leader. This prevents me from cheesing any fights and actually makes me rely on some sort of strategy. And by strategy, I mean dumb luck. We enter the first gym to defeat the town perv. My plan? Spam Vine Whip until it doesn't miss. We're gonna start off with a Vine Whip and immediately miss it. That is all part of the plan though, okay? So we're gonna Vine Whip again and miss again on purpose. I want him to get his defense so high. So high. Because the minute he gets his defense so high is the minute we're gonna hit that. And guess what happens when we hit that? One shots. All according to plan. And at this point, I actually thought this challenge wouldn't be super tilting. I was wrong. Is this not as hard as I thought it was gonna be? I might have spoke too soon. After constantly switching from battle to Poké Center, we entered Mountain Moon. You see here I have to hoard as much HP as possible due to the required fights at the end of the route. So of course I make sure to dodge every optional trainer, and of course I brought backup potions to help me out. And if that wasn't the worst of it, these two clowns introduced me to my next level of suffering. Confusion spam. Oh no. I did not even think about the confusion. Not only do I have to win a 50-50 accuracy roll to begin with, but with confusion, I now have to win a 50-50 confusion battle to make sure I don't hurt myself. Combine those two and my chances to hit an attack are 25%. I already know someone in the comments is typing, how did you not factor in these two issues? To that I say, you know what? Why don't you hit that subscribe instead? Go ahead, I'll wait. Did you do it? So after aiming the wrong way and hitting myself more than once, I made my way to Fossil Guy. I don't know what was greasier, this nerd or my Pokemon's hands. Nothing could land. It's your last chance. So after whiting out, we heal up and head back down and come out with a much needed win. And with my Pokemon angrier than ever, we just run right into Misty's gym and between Mellow and Headgear, land back-to-back hits and come out with our second gym badge. And then there was Gary. Let's see if we can actually hit something on this guy. Remember how I told you my Pokemon would not forget about Gary? Well, it turns out my Pokemon hate Gary. 2 Thunderbolts after 50% accuracy. In fact, they hate him so much, not a single move misses. Because you know, Gary. I hope a furry and secure our SS ticket and my Pokemon take one look at this ticket and are ready for another WWE SmackDown. I spend most of my time in Vermilion City solving the dumbest puzzle ever invented in any Pokemon game. But hey, it wasn't the worst coin flip minigame in this run. And with access to the move Dig, we just dig a bunch of holes in Surge's floor until he hands us the badge. At this point, things were frustrating, but not really impossible. So let's implement rule number 2. No more TMs allowed. I felt like making custom movesets was just unfair at this point. I make my way through Rock Tunnel with ease, but encounter something that will change the course of this run. But more on that later. And to be honest, I'm still having more trouble navigating this damn map. And I forget where you go from. And beating random trainers? Holy crap, this is not gonna be fun. Okay. Then I am beating boss trainers. Between Arcanine and Pidgeot, the grass gym was a fairly quick sweep. So far, there has not been one gym wave. So one last rule, no more in-battle items unless stuck. So with those rules set and the 4th gym down, I wonder who our next... Oh, god damn it. Status heals are okay though. But first, we got a base to raid, which took way too long. My party looked like an elderly home after every goddamn fight, except for Giovanni, because my Pokemon seem to hit every time they face a boss trainer. But Carl from accounting and his underlevel Ekans, no, that's where we struggle. I've missed this 10 times. The good news is I haven't gotten poisoned, but I've missed this attack 10 times. And then it was time to climb the spooky tower, which meant another Gary fight. And do I even need to say it? Just like that, Pidgeotto, the tea has been bagged. So after beating little bro and putting a relentless spirit to rest, we continue upstairs and... You're kidding me. I forgot about this. Yay! More confusion stall. Yeah, we might genuinely wipe here. I'm gonna kill myself in confusion, aren't I? But one more visit with a full team and I saved the old man. It was time to finally take on the poison gym. Yay! I rounded up all my ground type Pokemon, leveled them up to appropriate level, and got demolished by Koga's poison types. Again. And again. Get one more horn attack. I swear I will not complain anymore. He freaking blows up. I swear. Until this point, I've remained relatively chill, but this really made me want to punch a hole through my goddamn monitor. I am going to freak. It all came to a head when I entered his last Pokemon, who I paralyzed with 5 Pokemon still alive. Holy crap, I got the paralyze. And I proceeded to miss 5 attacks. Razor Leaf this hoe. No. Razor Leaf this hoe. No. While he never got paralyzed once. And we ended up wiping. This is the first time I'm officially tilted in this game. I was so pissed I threw strategy out the window and just brought in Gyarados to hydro pump him in the face. So yeah, that's when I beat the 5th gym. Oh, we did it! Oh my god, we did it! I didn't even realize. After about an hour or so of getting lost in the goddamn map again, we find ourselves in Saffron City, facing down the doors to Silphco, which I totally didn't look up the layout to avoid any unnecessary trainer battles, because that would be cheating. And then along came... Come on, do you even expect these to go any differently at this point? He even used Future Sight 3 times in a row. Thanks, Gary. Giovanni was more or less the same, meaning I got my sweet poison revenge, while still missing half my attacks. Imagine if I could aim. GG. Giovanni. The next gym was honestly kind of scary and I wasn't doing great either, as Arcanites refused to bite anything. Right, I forgot it's a 50% accurate mod. And Alakazam was setting up a Calm Mind sweep. But I completely forgot Bug type is super effective against Psychic type, which I probably still will never remember again. Can I hit 1 attack? Thank you. It probably does nothing. You know what they say? Float like a butterfly, sting like a... Nidoking? Wait, Bug is super effective. Why did I forget that? With 6 badges in hand, we surf our way to Cinnabar Island and explore the abandoned museum, which, let's be honest, no one cares about. Isn't it way more fun to watch me fail at the most basic, unintellectual Pokemon quiz you've ever seen? Oh my god, I got that backwards. At least I know water beats fire. I mean, come on. Even when I miss, Blaze still couldn't hit me. Oh my god. He missed his attack again. I have better luck at 50% accuracy than this guy has at 90% accuracy. With the 7th badge added to our collection, it was time to take on the 8th gym. Our plan was simple. 5 out of 6 of our Pokemon were either grass or water type. All I had to do was just not miss. Uh-oh. Just kidding. His attacks do nothing to me. Oh, we're fine. And then more of like, come on. Seriously? My team hates Gary. At this point, I was starting to think this challenge wasn't that hard. Maybe it was easy. Maybe it was too easy? Was I getting blessed with what they call streamer luck? I repelled my way through Victory Road and rushed into the Elite Four. Because who needs strategy when you can't even hit an attack to begin with? Oh. KO him! KO him! Dude, the crit hit doesn't do it. Oh. I get frozen from that? Oh. Well, at least we could go back to the drawing. Now, why would I do that? Where's the fun in that when you can just bang your head on a wall, hoping it eventually breaks? Maybe? After caving and changing up the strategy from hit a move, because that wasn't working, I came up with this. You see, everything with accuracy has been downgraded to 50% accuracy. Anything with the for sure hit still hits. That's where I came up with this thunder and rain dance combo. While some might call this cheating the system, I prefer to call it not losing my damn mind. So with a new team and a new strategy, we rush into the Elite Four and miss attacks again. And again, and then I hurt myself. Okay. And again, because you hit this one. Okay. Until finally we decide to do something unthinkable. I coin flip Thunder twice in a row and hit. We still fucking hit those twice in a row. Then after an extra 5 minutes of falling in love, falling asleep, and missing attacks, I finally did it. I finally beat the Elite Four. Well, the first member. But we did hit those 10 whiteouts, so it's a good thing my flying Pokemon were very healthy and quite tilted after witnessing that last battle. Let's go. That should one-shot. Yes. And not to bore you with the third member, I should just spam double team until I was seeing double, and I just waited for a bite to eventually hit. Arcanine, hit one bite. But this was more a battle of mental warfare than it was of physical damage. And after 10 minutes of both sides competing on who can miss more attacks, we finally come out the other side with a win. Also, since I only had revives, here was my team. But who cares about health when you have luck? We actually hit the frozen solid, holy. And with one lucky paralyze and an ice beam that actually hit, I'm not even trying for the sheer cold anymore, just please hit the ice beam. Please, please, please kill him. It was on to the final battle against Gary. Before I start the battle here, we need to backtrack a little bit. Remember Rock Tunnel and when I said that something occurred there that would change the course of this run? Well, what occurred was one simple encounter with one simple Pokemon, Geodude. Initially, I wasn't going to catch the Geodude, but something occurred to me. What better way to end a chance run than by one last 50-50 coin flip? One last gamble. So with Graveler on our team quite literally useless until this last fight, it was time to fulfill the prophecy and end this run the only way it should end. And no, I still don't have heals. With the Rain Dance teamed up with Thunder, we swiftly took down the Pidgeot and the Gyarados, and proceeded to wipe one or two more times while waiting for Bite to land on Alakazam as he's trying to set up a Calm Mind sweep. He hits his last bite. That's what I'm talking about, okay. And finally, after 3 attempts, it was finally time. One Pokemon, one move, one mission. We send out Explosion. With all the misses, all the wipes, all the anger my Pokemon and I accumulated over the past 6 hours of gameplay between being confused, being poisoned, and just straight up bad at aiming, it all came down to one last move. We brought you here. You have a 50% chance of hitting this attack. Please, for the love of God, hit this damn move. Quick explosion. You have to start. Okay, he missed. Do what he couldn't do and land your attack. And Graveler goes boom. In the 50-50 mod, we beat the Elite Four with an explosion. Let's go. It's over. It's finally over. Time. Finally, after 6 hours of watching my attacks constantly miss, we finally beat the challenge. All thanks to one perfect last coin flip. Oh crap, I gotta do the Hot Ones challenge, don't I?